Hello student, good morning. Myself, Professor Vikram Ghiye from Anantara Power College of Engineering and Research, Parvati, Pune. Today we are going to see the database management systems. So this is in third year subject. In this particular subject, today we are going to discuss about the unit number 2. The unit number 2 is relational database design. In this particular unit, we need to study basic concept of RDBMS, the Relational Database Management System, then codes rule, relational integrity, in which we need to see domain, refractional integrities, enterprise constraints. Then we need to study database design, features of good relational design. We have to see normalization. After that, decomposition using functional dependencies. We have to use algorithms for the decompositions. And finally, we need to study 2NF, 3NF, 4NF, and BC. So NF is for the normalization form. So we need to see these various topics under this particular unit, relational database design. So what is the basic concept of relational database management system? A relational database is a type of database that stores and provides access to data points that are related to one another. It means the data tables who shows the relation. So in the RDBMS, we are going to show the relation between the two databases. Relational databases are based on relational model, an inherent straightforward way for representing a data in table. So by using this RDBMS, we are going to represent our data in the forms of table. In a relational database, each row in the table is record with unique ID called as the key. Whenever we are going to put or store any data in the relational database, at that time, each row can be act as a record. So whenever someone asks us what is the record, so record is nothing but a row, or data is available in the row is called as the record with a unique ID called as the key. So each record having a unique ID, and that ID is called as the key. Later on, we are going to see what are the different keys in the relational database management. The column of the table holds the attributes of the data. The column which available in the DBMS, database management system, and that column holds the attribute of the data. And each record usually has a value for each attribute. So make it easy to establish the relationship among the data points. So from this basic concept, we are going to consider that in the relational database management system, the record is going to be stored in terms of the table, and table having the properties such as row and column. One row is called as the record, and it having the unique key, and column is also called as the attributes. So this is what the basic concept of the relational database management. A relational database management example is given over here. So I would like to discuss this example with you. So here two tables are shown for a small business. So first table is a customer information table. It have the records includes customer name, its address or his address, his shipping and billing information, his phone number, and other contact information about the customer. Each bit information, that is meant the information available in the each column. So what are the different columns? We have to go here. Here the columns are the customer name, his address, his shipping and billing information, his phone number, and his contact information are the attributes or column of the table. So each information in each attribute or each in the column is in its own column, and the database assign a unique ID to each row. So we formed one table of customer information with respect to certain attribute, and a unique ID or unique key is assigned to each row. And similarly, we have another table we call as the second table, a customer order table. Second table, what information does a second table have? A customer order table. So each record includes ID of the customer that place in order to produce the order. So based on that ID, he is or that customer will be able to proceed or place the order. The quantity, the selected size, and the color, and so other attribute or other, we can say the key on the basis of which he can place the order. So here we have selected the product order based on the quality, select the size and color, but not the customer name or contact information is shown over here. So in the first table, there is customer name as well as his contact information, billing information, all these attributes or columns are present. Whereas in the second table, the various columns are the product order, quantity, size, color. So only one thing is different than these two tables. The customer name and contact information is not available in the second table. So how our relational database is going to be work over here? So these two tables have only one thing in common. Which thing is in the common? That is the ID column, that is the key. Key is the column. So we can say that because of that common column, the relational database can create a relationship between the two tables. Then when the company's order processing application submits an order to the database can go to the customer order table, pull the correct information about the product order and uses the customer ID from that table to look up the customer's billing and shipping information in the customer table. So that can be able to find from this particular relation. So when another table is related with the previous table with a particular key, it is called as the relation between two tables. The warehouse can pull out the correct product, the customer can retrieve timely delivery of the order, and then company can get paid. So we can take an example of Flipkart as well. So we know that Flipkart is today's one of the biggest shipping company, or we can say it used to ship the product which is demanded, or we can say whose order is placed by the customer. So we know that Flipkart having its own database and a number of product sellers are there. So they having their own database. So there is a relation who ordered a particular product by Flipkart. Is that data is going to be stored at the Flipkart's database, but similarly there are a customer database, seller database is also there. So in the seller's database, what type of product are available with the seller, that information is also available. So based on that product ID, these two different person or that two different entities can go to the can communicate in between them. So this is what the relation between two tables. So this is what the basic concept of the relational database management system. Now we will proceed next. So what is table first of all? So we are well aware about the table. So table is the data in the RDBMS is stored in database object which are called as the tables. So the data in the RDBMS is stored in database object. It is called as the table. This table is basically collection of the related data entries, and it consists of numerous column and row. It may possible there are n number of column and n number of rows are there. So in the given diagram, it shows that there are ID, name, age, address, and salary. These 5 columns are there. It is called as the attribute. Similarly, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the ID. These are the 7 rows also going to be shown over here. So table is the most common and simplest form of the data storage in the relational database. So in the given diagram, it shows how we are going to store a particular data in the table. In the ID number 2, ID number 3, ID number 4, up from the ID number 1 to 7, there are 7 number of database can be stored. It may possible there are n number of rows and n number of columns will be there. So from observing table, it is going to be observed that ID number 6 having name Komal, having age 22, it having address from the MP, and her salary is 4,500 rupees. So in this way, we can store the data in the table. What is field? Next thing is the field. That is the basic concept. Again, field. So every table is broken into small entries, or we can say entities, called as the field. The field in the consumers table. So in the above table, we can say that is customer table, consists of ID, name, age, address, and salary. So a field is a column in a table that is designed to maintain the specific information about the every record in the table. It is called as the field. What is record? We have already seen the definition of record. A row is called as the record. Here one of the example is shown. There is row number 3 is selected. That is the ID number 3 having name Kaushik, having age 23. His address is from the quota and his salary is 2000. It is also called as the horizontal entity in a table. What is column? So column is a vertical entity in the table that consists of all information associated with the specific field in the table. So here the customer address shown from the database. Next is the null value. A null value in a table is value in the field that appears to be blank, which means a field with null value is field with no value. It may be possible during the creation of database, some fields, in some field actually, it may be possible some of the entities, or we can say some of the entries having no value. I'm saying no value. No value means not zero. Zero means something present over there, but I am going to say there is null. So I am going to say that some of the time it may possible in the database there are no values at particular entries or at a particular place. It is called as the null value. It is a blank. So it is very important to understand the null values is different than the zero value or a field that contains spaces. A field that null value is one of that has been left blank during the record creation. It may possible, it may be place a blank. This null value having a different signification. So that different significance we can see later on as we are going to proceed with the session. Then attribute, as I already said that the columns is also called as the attribute. Tables. So we have shown that the tables is used to store the information in the database. So it having the rows as well as the column. And it is used to store the entities. Tuple. Tuple is nothing but a single row of table which contains a single record. So single record is called as the tuple. Relation schema. A relation schema presents the name of the relation with the attributes. So relation schema is normally used to represent the relation with the attributes. Degree. The total number of attribute which in the relation is called as the degree of the relation. It may be possible during the relation of the two tables, the how many number of the attributes are in the relation that represent the degree of the relation. Cardinality. The total number of rows present in the table is called as the cardinality. Column. Column represent the set of the values for a specific attribute. Relational instance. Relational instance is a finite set of tuple in the RDBMS system. So we have already seen the definition of tuple. Tuple means the record. So relational instance is defined as set of tuple in the RDBMS system. Relation instance never have duplicate tuple. When a particular relational instance is going to show the interface, or we can say relational instance, at that time tuple is not going to be duplicate or repeat. Relational key. Every row has two or multiple attribute. We know that when there is table, there are n number of possible attribute. So every row has 1, 2 or multiple attributes are there, which is called as the relational keys. It is called as the relational keys. Attribute domain. Attribute domain having the certain attributes having the certain domain, such as first column in our database was the ID. ID is normally in the numeric domain. Name is always in the character. So every attribute has some predefined value and scope, which is known as the attribute domain. Key integrity. Every relation in the database should have at least one set of attribute which defines a tuple unequally. It is called as the key integrity. Refressional integrity. So this integrity and refressional integrity also we need to see in the detail. We are going to looking towards the basic concept. What is the refressional integrity? When one attribute of the relational can only take values from the other attribute of the same relation or any other relation, it is called as the refressional integrity. So this key integrity and refressional integrity we also see later on in detail in the next topic. So these are the various basic concept of the RDBMS. So looking towards till now, we have seen that, or I would like to summarize this particular slides over here. This is what the first topic in the relational database management system. So in this particular basic concept of the RDBMS, we have seen that normally RDBMS means it is a relation between the database. It is used to show the relation between the two databases. During the showing this relation between the two databases, first of all, we need to create a database. That database is always uses to store a data in terms of the table. Means table are normally used to store the data. Table having two properties, row properties and column properties. Row properties, row is called as the record. So table having the two properties, column as well as the row. Column is also called as the attributes and row is called as the record. So that record or one record is also called as the tuple. So this topic we have seen in the first part. It is called as the basic concept of the RDBMS. RDBMS means Relational Database Management System. Now move towards the next topic from the syllabus. It is called as the Code's rule. Dr. Edgar F. Code. He is one of the researcher scientists. After his extensive research on the relational model of database system, come up with the 12 rule, which is formed by him. According to him, a database must obey in order to regard as a true relational database. So, Dr. Code has given a particular, or we can say there are given a 12 code, which is according to him. When a particular database can follow this 12 rule, it can be true relational database. So we need to study this Code's rule. So these rules can be applied on any database system that manage stored data using only its relational capabilities. It is very important that these rules are applicable at where only using the relational capability for the database system. This is a we can also call as this has become the foundation rule, which act as base for all other rules. So other rules based on the relational database management system can be formed based on this 12 rule. First rule is called as the rule number 1. It is the information rule. The data stored in the database, may it be user data or metadata, must be a value of some table cell. It should be value of some table cell. Everything in a database must be stored in a table format. So it is called as the information rule. What does information rule 1 suggest us? Information rule 1 suggests us that the data should be stored in table format. Data may be anything. but must be a value of some table set. Second rule, guaranteed access rule. This rule suggests that every single data element is guaranteed to be accessed logically with a combination of table name, either its key and its attribute. Means we can access a data with respect to that particular database name. It is also called as the logically with respect to database name, means also called as the table name, its row key, or it by its attribute. It is called as the guaranteed access rule. There is rule number 3. Rule number 3 suggests that systematic treatment of null values. We have already seen the concept of null. Null means blank. So the null values in a database must be given a systematic and uniform treatment. This is very important rule because null can be interpreted as the following. Data is missing, data is not known, data is not applicable. When we are going to see that in the particular database, the null is occurred. So null may be data is missing, null may be data is not known, or data may be not applicable. Based on that, we can apply a null rule. Active online catalog. So the structural description of the entire database must be stored in the online catalog known as data dictionary. What is this data dictionary? It is, we can say that, a structured description of an entire database. The description that is structured actually. What is the structure of particular database? Database having different attributes with respect to attributes, as well as there are different records. So the structured description of the entire database must be stored in the online catalog. It having the information of the row and column. That must be stored in the online catalog. That is known as the data dictionary. This can be accessed by authorized user only. User can use a same query language to access the catalog which they use to access the database itself. So when we have to use and that catalog or data dictionary, we have to use the same query language to access the catalog. Next rule, rule number 5, comprehensive data sub-language rule. So a database can be accessed by using language having linear syntax that supports the data definition, data manipulation, and transaction management operation. So the language can be used directly or by means of some application. The database allows to access the data without any help of this language, then it is called as a violation of the language or violation of the rule. So comprehensive data sub-language rule should be there. View updating rule. All the views of database, views means that we can view the database with respect to different point, with respect to attribute, with respect to row, with respect to the elements available in the table. So all the views of the database which can theoretically be updated must be updatable by the system. This is the view updating rule. View updating rule. Rule number 7, high level insert, update and delete rule. So what does this rule suggest? In this particular rule, database must support high level insertion, updation and deletion. So this must not be limited to single row. That is, it must be support union, insertion and minus operation to yield a set of data records. It may possible during the creation of database, you may need to create single row or number of rows. So at that time, you should be able to delete it. It may possible there is need to update the number of rows at a time. So that high level insert, updation and deletion can possible in the relational database. Rule number 8, physical data independence. The data stored in a database must be independent of the application that access the database. It may possible there are number of application can use the same database. Today we are going to see that the COVID information which is available centrally can be accessed by the different database. You can access it from the Chrome. So Chrome having the different application. You can access maybe having the some your mobile phone application. So data is same, but we are going to access it from the different application. So that data should be independent of the application that can access the data. Any change in the physical structure of the database must not have any impact on how the data is being accessed by external application. So if in between the generation of records or implementation of database, it may possible that physical structure of database is going to be changed. So it don't have any impact on the application. It is called as the physical data independence. Logical data independence, like a physically, the logical data independence should be there. The logical data in the database must be independent of the user's view. What is the user application? With respect to that, it is not dependent. Any change in the logical data must not affect the application using it. It may possible that sometimes data is going to be changed, so it's not going to be affect on the users or application. Next rule, it is rule number 10. It is not last rule. There are 12 rules actually. So we need to say 12 rules. So rule number 10. Rule number 10, integrity dependence. So all database must be independent of the application that uses it. It is called the logical data independence. So all the integrity constraint can be independently modified without the need of any change in the application. So without change in the application, you can be able to modify your database. So this rule makes a database independent in the front-end application and its interface. So it is called as the integrity independence of our database. Distribution independence. In end user must not be able to see the data distributed over the various locations. So it may possible whatever data you are going to access, that data having the different locations. So end user must not be able to see the data is distributed over the various location. User should always get the impression that the data is located only on one site. So data is available at a one place, that should be get impression. This rule has been regarded as the foundation of distributed database system. Rule number 12, non-subversion rule. So in a system has interface that provide access to a low level record, then the interface must not be able to subvert the system and bypass the security and integrity constraint. It is called as the non-subversion rule. Means our database should not be get subverted. So these are the code's 12 rule. Based on that, or if a particular database can follow these 12 rules, so we can say that this database will be a perfect relational database. So these things we have seen in the today's session. So in the today's session, we have seen the basic concept of the relational database management system as well as the codes rule. So today we are going to stop here. Thank you. Thank you for listening.